Nightwish.
Again, we talked about this last week, but we played Red Christmas, and that was about
drum roll, please.
Yeah, that was about a guy who survives abortion, has Down syndrome, goes back to his biological parents' home to get revenge on Christmas like 20 years later or something like that. Like it was something. It had a
Kind
lot
of
of
a
offensive
success tale, really.
characteristics that I think are on par with Loquisha level. But people watch that and they're like, you know what? It's kind of boring. I really
shouldn't even have said that name.
I don't remember it. It must have been boring.
I'm upset at myself for even bringing up Loquisha in 2025.
Hey, you brought it up.
I should. I'm sorry. I already started off wrong.
Yeah. You come in your first episode of 2025.
Yeah, I should have left that shit.
We just left this behind us in 2024.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I brought that curse.
You brought that evil on us.
Yeah, I brought that evil upon us. My bad.
You know what? We talk about it so much, we're probably going to end up watching it again for some reason.
No, please. We already have enough to deal with. Like, we don't need Loquisha.
There's already this chatter. I say already, even though it's been a while, but I don't think a while is long enough. But, you know, there's the request for Still Flowing.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's different.
That's going to be a left hook out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's also an over 2-hour film, I think.
2 hours, 9 minutes, I believe.
That might be a fun one to subtitle.
Audio.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Luther, actually.
You could get creative with your own subtitles for that.
Yeah, really. Like,
I mean, to last
trying
long.
to phonetically emulate the New Zealand or Australian accent,
which you've done magnificently before.
I think Chubbs Peckerton needs to come back. He needs to save that movie.
Yeah.
He needs to flow one last time. Yeah, he needs to.
So anyways, you know, speaking of flow, I felt the movies flowed yesterday enough. I mean, sometimes, like you're talking about pre-show bleeding into the movie or whatever, sometimes the movies bleed into one another for me. There's been after hours where we've talked about that, where I'll play more than one movie of a very similar quality to each other. And then I keep like mistaking the one for having the scenes of the other or whatever, especially when their stories don't make any fucking sense anyways. So scenes are kind of interchangeable and you can only distinguish them maybe by the people who are in it, but by nothing else. And then if like the film quality, the production quality is the same, yeah, you can get pretty lost.
Yeah, definitely.
But okay, first film was Nightwish from 1989, and I'm actually kind of surprised I hadn't heard of this film before, or that we hadn't seen it. I think it was totally movie night appropriate. Some people felt that it was a bit higher quality than the typical movie night. But I also think that its story was nonsense enough and so scattershot and all over the place, so much weird shit happening, and such a mixture, I think, of production values, like, and you know, those weird injections of changeover from film reel and things like that, which I'm not really sure where. I think most people probably thought I put that in for artistic purposes or something like that. But I did not. And I don't know why they were there. And I didn't read that it was like a reconstructed copy of this movie or whatever. But every so often we'd get like the quick flash of a film countdown and the film rolling, and then it would be an image of the moon again. So I don't know if the director did that for artistic purposes or somebody put the film together or whatever. Luther, did you get anything from that?
I did not. I didn't do much research on that one. There wasn't any like commentary tracks and stuff. The info was kind of sparse on it.
Well, it's very 80s. So that kind of like sets the scene. You know, going in, it's very 80s. And it starts out some storyline about paranormal researchers going into a house, and there's a professor who's wearing a lab coat, and they're trying to run some tests. And then there's some cartoon ectoplasm floating around. And then after like 3 hours, it's suddenly a movie about aliens, and they're in a spaceship and shit like that. And all of a sudden, I don't know who's who anymore.
Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.